I'm so tired all of the time, but I've got to keep practicing, because once I start, I'm not as tired. Let's get a quote. My pillow is my best friend, and it's the reason I got a 5 on my AP Music Theory exam. So, obviously, I had taken the AP Music Theory class, and that's where I learned everything about scales and modes and chords and part writing and harmony. But what was it also important was the night before the exam, I didn't pull an all-nighter studying. I visited my best friend, my pillow, and I slept. I rested. And because of that, I could go to the exam the following day and do well. That brings us to today's quote. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it, from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, to me, this means that we need to rest and make sure that even though we're working towards a goal, we're taking time for ourselves so that we can actually get there sustainably. And my evidence for this is Legally Blonde, Emily Dickinson, and Rihanna. To begin, let's look at Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde follows Elle Woods as she moves from California all the way to Massachusetts to study at Harvard Law School. So when Elle Woods decides that she's going to apply to Harvard Law School, that takes a lot of work. She studies really hard for her LSAT to get that 179, and then she writes an essay that she decides to be creative and make a video essay for her admission, her application. She makes that video essay and then she gets in. She made it to Harvard Law School. She gets there. She's still working hard at Harvard Law School. It's hard to be a law student, but she doesn't stop taking care of herself. She still goes to the nail salon. She still follows her passion for fashion. She doesn't stop doing the things that make Elle Elle. She continues to wear pink clothing, and at the nail salon, she meets some of her best friends, and she really gains the confidence that she needs to be a good lawyer. And that really shows that when we take a moment to pause and when we actually stop the moving fast of life and when we look around, we see things that we could miss. And Elle's decision to keep following her passion of fashion aids her in her pursuit of the law, especially in her first real case where her knowledge of how a perm works solves it. Because how could the defendant have been in the shower the same day that they got a perm and their curls still be intact? The ammonium thioglycolate would indeed have denatured. Now, moving forward, we also have Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson is a renowned American poet, and she wrote some of the most notable poetry of the last 200 years, including Hope is a Thing with Feathers. She was born in Amherst, Massachusetts, and one thing that is a little less known about her is that she spent a lot of time secluded in her room, and she even communicated almost exclusively with the outside world through letters, because the outside world was too busy for Emily. It was too overwhelming at times, and she chose to take care of herself. She chose to pause, take a moment, and write. And that made some of the best poetry that we've gotten in a long time. Moving forward, we also have Rihanna. Now, Rihanna is a very famous pop star from Barbados, and she famously has not released an album in a long time because she knows that she doesn't have to be in the pop star game all the time. She can take a break. She can focus on what she thinks is important at that time. And when she's ready, if she wants to, she can come back. And that album would probably top the charts. It would be a great album because Rihanna is a great artist, not because she is always working, but because she takes a moment and she makes music when she feels like it that accomplishes her personal goals for that art. So when you have a goal, I want you not only to work hard on it, but also take a moment. Don't let it pass you by. Don't let it always be 70 miles an hour. Let it pause. take a moment, take a breath, and maybe rest your head on a pillow. Thank you. I really am tired, like, all the time, though. It's like, I'm so tired I can't even read. I go to read a book and I'm like, the book I'm reading right now, though, has, like, chapters that are really short, though. They're, like, 2 pages each, so it's kind of fine. But it does kind of give me the ick at times. I'm like, you can tell it's kind of old. Doodles.